That nigga on gold like a green light. They say 144, nigga, you can get it. Ain't gotta tell me twice. Tryna stack a couple grand, get on some land, and put us on our feet in the field with the warriors. And you know a nigga garbage, but we still keep it G. Might hit her with the Rico, hey, hit the nigga with the Rico, hey, said they fuck with the rap game. What you looking at me for? So I know they can't stand me. That's why I keep a Glock handy. Might sip a little brandy while I'm chilling with the family. Tell him a real nigga landed, dressed in all black like a bandit. Bitch, I ain't gonna play. Bitch, I can't do damage. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this rebel hood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this rebel hood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. Back, let me fall. Ain't Babylon fall. You know the pepper nigga walk. Nigga raised up, now I'm all in. And all I ever wanted was the wind and the big body bend. Now I'm gone in the wind, trying to stack a couple in. Now let's get it in, yeah, let's get it in. About to make shit tremble. 144, the real. About to turn it up a level. Heat the bitch up like lava. And it probably bring a whole out. And all that we feel is our father. And I'm headed for the top dollar. And ain't none gonna stop. None gonna stop. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this rebel hood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know. No coward, no nigga came back down. I thought I'd let you know that I was gone, but I never left. I'm back now. I thought I'd let you know this rebel hood is a whip, and I never let it go. Never let it free. Shit, I kill for my niggas. I thought I'd let you know.
Slap it up, slap it up. All right, Slagia. Let me check, see if anybody checked in. Anybody checked in, called in to check in yet? Got any brothers online checking in? All right, Messiah Christ. All right, welcome to the class. This is the Hebrew class. We teach every Friday from 7 to 9, as well as other classes. We had 3353 Glenwood Road. And we teach Monday through Friday, all different classes, Monday through Friday, but definitely today is an important class. All of our classes are important, you understand, but if you want to call yourself a Hebrew, you must understand the Hebrew languages. For everybody's checking in, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. We also got a number that we can call in, that's 706-901-7516, I believe that's the number. Or, no, select it. That number could be 404-793-7180. You can call in, ask questions. Definitely today, if you want to ask any questions about the Hebrew, definitely call in. We're doing live, teach you the whole Hebrew. This is the Hebrew 101, you understand? So we definitely got brothers out here who's experienced, who's been doing this Hebrew for many, many years, you understand? But I like to definitely keep it a one-on-one. That way people are always joining in. They can actually jump in and start to learn the Hebrew, because it's a very important language that we need to learn, understand? So that being said, Yahweh Shem Yashai brought the thought to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Thumb Shem Yashai to the sisters. You understand? We're going to get into the Hebrew, which is very important again because we are the 12 tribes of Israel, Black, Hispanics, Native Indians, and we are a lost tribe. You understand? And what I mean by lost, we lost our culture, we lost our heritage, and we lost our language. You understand? We have no idea who we are, what we used to speak, or anything. And under Commander General Yahanna and I.S.U.P.K, we're here to give that culture back to you. We give it back to you all week long. You understand? And if you happen to be at the Passover, let's give it up for the Lord's Passover, the past last week. You understand? If you was at that Passover, you'd have saw our culture. You saw Hispanics getting down, the Mexicans getting down, Colombians was there, Judites was there. I'm just gonna give you the names because you don't know the name. I can't give you the actual Benjamites and the Zebulons. You may not know those yet, but as you keep coming to classes, you'll know the Benjamites, Levi, the Simeons. You know all these different names, but we'll just keep it. We're gonna give you the so-called. We're gonna give you so-called blacks were there, so-called Jamaicans was there. All of the 12 tribes would have been there. You understand? And we had a glorious moment. Brothers was dressed in all types of fly gears. I seen one brother who had a daggone whole garment was lit up. You understand? The brother was looking clean. Sister was looking just as glorious. But this is the culture. You would have seen our culture. And you would have heard the Hebrew, the generals, the water, the Commander General Yahanna, and all the other generals, clap that up for them. They was praying in the Hebrew, and they also, we gave it to you in English as well, but the Hebrew, something about praying in the Hebrew that the Lord honors and respects, that makes your prayer worth hearing. Not saying that your prayers aren't worth hearing, even when you do it in English, because that's the only language you know, but it's just something about in your own language that the Lord sees that and He hears you. You understand? So with that being said, we're going to jump right into the things. This is Lashawan Qadash class, and I'm going to start off with a couple of scriptures. I want, if anybody could, give me Genesis 11 and 1. You understand? Genesis 11 and 1. Let me check, see if got anybody online. Anybody online? Want to check in? All right, was on Christ. All right, let's get it going.
Comes on this book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole earth was of one language.
The whole earth was what?
Was of one language.
Uh-huh.
And of one speech.
The whole earth was of one language and one speech. So at the beginning of time, the angels speak, in the Hebrew. You understand? This was the language this was the Lord's chosen language. That was the Hebrew. That's what the angels speak, and that's what we should be actually speaking. So at one time, the whole earth was speaking that one language and that one speech. Continue reading.
Verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
All right. Just jump down to 6 first, verse 6.
Verse 6. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
They have what?
Have all one language.
The Lord said we all had only one language. And it's important to know why we all had one language, because as the Tower of Babylon, if you haven't understood and ever read the Tower of Babylon, people was trying to raise this tower up to the Lord. And the Lord saw that it all came on one. Matter of fact, instead of me telling you, I'm going to read it on out to you. Go ahead, continue reading, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead, verse 9. No, I'm sorry. No, go ahead and read. Go ahead and start at verse 7.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So
they were all building this Tower of Babel, that they were all on one accord. Something like we have today. You understand? All these different countries coming in, and this is the modern day Babylon here in America. So people are coming in, all different languages, but they all coming together and agreeing on the one thing, that the lesbian, LGBT is ahead of everybody. You got the movement, the gay movement is right. Nothing can be wrong with it. Everybody can marry. They got together and they're going up against God's laws. Everything that God said that was is abominable, America looks at that and say, no, you can do it. It's great. So they all coming up under this one umbrella, under this one doctrine, and that's what we're trying to do today. But we're trying to keep that language holy, you understand? As Israelites, as Hebrew Israelites, we have to understand that our culture is the number one culture, and it is the best culture, and our language should be kept, you understand? There was a man named Eber, who's a progenitor of our people. He kept that language going. As the Tower of Babel fell, and the Lord came down and confounded the language, that's how you got everybody speaking different languages, Spanish, and you got to speak in Latin, you got to speak in Brazil, Portuguese, all these different types of languages. That's where it came from. God went down and confounded the languages. But there's only one man that kept that language. His name was Eber. And that's where we get that language Hebrew from. There was a spelling. Eber is spelled E-B-E-R, I believe. E-B-R. E-B-E-R. Understand? And later on, you can find it spelled H-E-B-E-R. Eber. So to kind of put those together, and it's like, okay, it's Hebrew. But Hebrew is not a language, you understand? I mean, Hebrew is a language. It's not who we are. I know a lot of people, we understand, they call us Hebrew Israelites. But it's like saying I'm a English American. That's what it's like. So you just have to understand that Hebrew is the language that we speak. Our nationality is an Israelites. So if you're black, Hispanic, Native Indian, that's your nationality. It goes back to all the way back to our forefathers. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you come from. And that's the language. That's the nationality. The language that we're going to be speaking is Hebrew. Understand? So that's where the census came down from, all these different languages. But we're trying to keep our language. So Eber taught his family, and to keep the language, and that's exactly what he did. He kept it through. I mean, it's ironic because you understand that even babies today, when they come out of the womb, they speak Hebrew. You know that, right? You understand? They speak Hebrew. So just imagine, they come out, they start speaking. When we go over the alphabet, you understand. Babies don't speak a clear language. They speak ba, ba. I haven't teach my baby girl how to speak no kind of mama and dada yet. Never had to do that. They just automatically knew. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa. That's just how they were spoke. So even our kids coming out of the womb, coming into this world, speaking the Hebrew, because that was the original language. You understand? The original of the whole earth was the original language. Okay? So that being said, if you got any questions, if you got any questions on Facebook, got any questions on YouTube, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll go ahead and continue doing it that way. All right? There are also a couple of more stuff I want to go over. If you could pull for me, give me Zephaniah 3 and 9. Zephaniah 3 and 9. Like I said, this is the Hebrew class, Lashawan Qadash. It's the 101 class, very beginning class to teach our blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians your natural born language, you understand? And it's not to be taken lightly. And just because you speak your English or whatever language you speak now, doesn't mean that you can't come back and learn this language. But it starts like everything else. You got to start with the ABCs. But you can't say, I'm going to wait till the kingdom come and I'll speak it. No, we must practice the righteous acts. We must practice and learn this stuff right now. You understand? Because that's our holy language. You can't say we're Hebrew Israelites and you can't speak Hebrew. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that language and speak it. All right? Give me Zephaniah 3 and 9. Be good?
God, it's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. For then I will turn to the people a pure language.
You will turn to a people a pure language. That pure language, this is the Hebrew. That was your pure language. Because it was from the beginning of time. That was your pure language. Can you read it?
That they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent.
And that's what we're doing now. We in the kingdom of heaven is not at hand. You ain't supposed to wait for that. We're supposed to, the kingdom is within us. You understand? The kingdom is within us. So we got to bring that kingdom to pass. The Lord can't come unless we start, bringing our kingdom in. So you have the ability to bring the Lord Christ to come. We have that ability, you understand? But we got to get back to our pure language, start keeping law, statutes, and commandments. And this is what we all deal with from Monday through Saturday. Even on the Saturday class, when you come to Sabbath service, you'll see us speaking our holy tongue. You see us up there, the brothers come up speaking that language, you understand? Because the kingdom is within us. We have to actually petition the Lord to come, to be on our side. So while people are hoping that, hoping and praying for peace in the Middle East, we're praying for war and destruction to bring our Savior back in, you understand? But to do that, these are the things that we start with. We start with the Monday classes. We start with the brotherhood classes. We start with the, what else we got? Brotherhood classes. We got the law classes. We got scripture breakdown classes. We got the Sabbath day classes. And also we have our language, Hebrew, Lashawan, Qadash, and tribe. Understand? So with that being said, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to start right now with the alphabet. We got two different languages. We have the Assyrian, and we actually have the the ancient Hebrew, and we also have the Syrian Hebrew. Now you have to understand we have two different alphabets that's going on because we've been captured. You know what I'm saying? We've been captured. We've taken it. They call it the lost language because not too many people understand and not too many people remember and know. But it's not a lost language. You understand? Because we know this. So we're gonna start with the alphabet on the right. That's gonna be your the ancient Hebrew on the right, which is right here. We're gonna go through that. And then you have the Assyrian, that's going to be here on the left. And we go through those alphabets. Now, just like anything else, you have to learn the alphabet. If you want to learn Spanish, you want to learn Latin, you have to start with the alphabet. The alphabet is going to be the way that you can hear the phonics of the words being sound and how it's produced. If you don't know the alphabet, you're going to be lost. So it's the most important thing that you actually do is to learn the actual alphabet. You can't go from A to Z without learning what's in the middle. You understand? You have to know the alphabet, and we're going to go through that and how to actually pronounce it. Now, the languages are different as well, because languages, even in English today, we say things that are similar, but they're not the same. You're going to find that they're going to be words that sound the same and look the same, but they're going to have different meanings. For an example, in English, you have bored. It's spelled B-O-A-R-D. But you can use that in many different ways. You can say, I'm bored, there's a board over here. So you just have to actually figure out what you're actually talking about. Because you can find many different words that are similar, looks the same, but it's a whole different meaning. You understand? So we're going to start with the ancient Hebrew on the right here, and we're going to go through the alphabet. A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za. Understand? We go back again. It's A, A-H, like a little Pac-Man with a line down the middle. You understand? Ba, like a little J with a little sign, a flag on the side. Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. You understand? That's now if you understood what I was saying, if you can actually hear it, you can see where babies get their language from. You know what I'm saying? And now also, the Lord also recognizes us as the lost sheep. He compares us to lost sheep. Now if you listen to what a sheep sounds and how he sounds, ba, ga, da, is another representation of us. We're the lost sheep. You understand? So the Lord has a lot of comparisons and simulations to us in the scriptures. You just got to understand where to find them at, and you got to read through all the Christianity in a lot of this stuff. And you got to actually understand this Bible is for the blacks, Hispanics, Native Indian. And we all going to talk and sound the same. But just like any other language, you have Ebonics in it. So sometimes you hear brothers say, Yahweh Shem Yahshabrakata, but you also hear brothers saying, Yahbrakata, Shabrakata. It's just how you say it. No different than today. We have Ebonics. We say, what's up, bro? What I do? What's good? What's good? The same type of deal. That's how you know this Bible is for blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Because that's just how we talk. We shorten things up. We cut things out. And if you're Spanish, you don't say, como estás? You say, como tu estás? You quickly run things together. The Hebrew is the same way. And hopefully by the end of this day, you'll be able to put some words together. You'll be able to make a sentence or two. And that's the goal today, to understand your heritage, your language, and to be able to put a few sentences together. So we're going to keep on going. Now, on the Syrian, you're going to notice the difference of the letters. These letters was a little bit different than the Syrian. Now, you look on the right side of it, here's the Syrian, right here. And it's going to look a little bit different. And the major difference in this is with the ancient, you're going to have these things called connectors, and we'll go over that pretty soon. These don't have any connectors. These are just read straight the way they are. Okay, so we're going to go over the alphabet again in the Assyrian. That's going to be the A, the Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. You understand? So that's what we got. So give me a minute. Let me go ahead and we're gonna jump into some of the things real quick. That's just like I said. That's the Hebrew. That's the alphabet that you must learn. You understand? You won't know too many words if you don't actually finish it in Hebrew. I mean, if you don't actually learn this alphabet in Hebrew alphabet. Now, if you need copies of these things, let us know. We'll be able to get the copies to you. Come to the school. Call your, hold on, give me 1 second here. All right. All right. Just let me know if you can actually see what I'm writing on the board as well. Like I said, if you need a copy of the alphabet, contact your nearest camp leader, and they'll get you the information, or call the school, and we'll actually be able to email it to you, or text it to you, however you want to receive it. But again, unlike English, it's written, the Lashawan, our holy language is written from right to left. Understand? We write from right to left. Where in the English, we write from left to right. You understand? So this is what we're going to do. Now I'm going to write it in English style from left to right. But when I start to put it in Hebrew, I write it the reverse way. All right? So this is the... Lashawan, Qadash, understand? And you got a part in my writing. I'm not that great at writing, but hopefully you get it. If you can't see this, definitely let us know. If I got to write a little bigger, whatever the case may be, I'll do that. Lashawan, Qadash, understand? So we're going to go ahead and try to write this, and that means holy tongue. Lashawan, Qadash means holy. Holy tongue. You understand? We got a eraser over here, man. We got an eraser. Should be in here. Sure. Zoll up for me. Maybe I need to be on the right side, right? You know what I mean? All right. There we go. Slide. It means the holy tongue. Lashawan Qadash. You understand? So now, if I was to write this in the ancient Hebrew, this is what it's going to look like. Again, we're going to write from right to left. Right. Lashawan, Qadash. And we're going to break these syllables down because, like I said, we had the alphabet up here. I wish we had the alphabet at the same time as you can see it, that we can pronounce it the same way. But this is the La. Okay. Lashawan, Qadash. This is how it's written. And if you notice it, we're writing it from right to left. Right to left, not from left to right, as in English. That's the first mistake and the first thing you have to learn. We read it the other way around. So in essence, English is backwards. English is backwards, you understand? This is the correct way we've been writing this since the beginning of time. So right to left is how we've been reading. And if you have a book, a Tanakh, or the Tanakh or the Torah, you'll see that the books are written that way. When you're going from Moses, from Genesis to the first 5 books of Moses, all of it from the Tanakh is written the other way around. Understand? The whole Tanakh is written that way. All right? So go ahead with that now. Any questions so far? Any questions? All right. Here we go. Now, what I'd like to do right now is break some of these simple words down for you. But there is some things I do want to bring to task, because just like the English letter, you have vowels. You have A-E-I-O-U. I want to actually notice something, because actually in the ancient Hebrew, in the Syrian Hebrew, we have 5 letters that are something like the vowels. We have the A, E, I, O, U. That's in American. We have that. These are called the vowels. Okay? We have something that we call vowels too, that I consider them called vowels, but they're actually in the Syrian. And this is what's going to happen. It's the ka, and these are at the end of the words. So if you actually have the letters I'm writing down now, which I consider them to be so-called vowels, when you see these, you pronounce that word as that, and we'll say what it is. We pronounce that word at the end of the sentence. So if you see the word that I'm writing down, like for instance, this is here. That's a ka. That's going to be at the end of the word. Okay? So I'm going to keep going. This is a ma. This is going to be a square. So I'll put the syllables on top of it. Gotta be a ka, ma. It's a na. It's a pa. This is a tazak. So you got the ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the tazak. And this is how you pronounce them if you've seen it at the end of a word. If you saw this at the end of a word, you pronounce it ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the tazak. Now I'll give you a couple examples of it. Shoot. We got kahan. Kahan. Let's see. Gotta bear with me. So, kahan is spelled damn, what else should we? Let me fix that. Kahan. Kahan means priest in the Hebrew. You understand? So if I was to write this in the Assyrian, the ancient, it would be like this. Kahan. Understand? That's where that na here comes at the end of the word. It'd be the na. So kahan. So you would leave off this a and just pronounce that n. So when you have these vowels, a lot of times you'll see the ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the za. And a lot of times you will X out the extra letter in the A. You understand? So that would be kahan, but now it's just hun, kahan. Kahan. It's not kahana, because that would be the NA. Because it's at the end of a word. You don't announce the A because it's at the end of the word. You understand? So you got the kahan, that's the ka, ha, na. Kahan. All right? Everybody understand that? All right, I'll give you another example for the ma. The ma will be this little box right here. We have what we call thamayam. We'll spell that thamayam. We spell thamayam. Ma yum. All right. Now in the ancient, it will be spelled ta ma yum. Now let me fix this because that's not right. Ta ma yum. Okay. Again, at the end of it, that's a ta ma yum. Understand? So at the end, see this ma is different than this ma. This ma you pronounce the ma. Ta ma yum. But on this one you don't pronounce the a. The a goes off. The a falls off of that. In the middle, the a stays on. So it's thumb ma yum. Just the actual m on the end. So it depends on the letter of the word. And thumb ma yum means perfect. To be perfect. Understand? A lot of times the names that we have are Hebrew names. And the Hebrew names that we have may not necessarily be you at the moment, but that's what you strive for. Understand? You strive for that. You strive to be perfect. My name is Akaz, which means to take. You know? So that's my job. I come in, I take, set up, and that's what it is. You got Officer Napash Kaya, which is what, old soul or
living soul.
The living soul. So when you get a Hebrew name, it's supposed to match who you are or your whole characteristics. You understand? And a lot of times people think because they have that name, that's who they are. But sometimes the Lord say, you know what? You have to actually strive to become that name. Myself and Officer McCall was talking about the other day, man, that sometimes the names that you get, you have to strive to become those. So if we're not perfect or if we're not set up to be leaders or whatever the case may be, but that's what your name is, you work and you strive to become that name. Because it's in you. It's definitely in you because it wouldn't have been given to you from the characteristics from the men above you. The Lord wouldn't have gave it to them. So it's definitely in you from that name. But sometimes You got to fight and strive to become just that name that you are. You understand? All right, we're going to keep on going. We're going to go ahead and give you another one. Malak. Malak is M-A-L-A-Q. That's Malak. All right? That means king. That means king. Now, if you're writing in ancient, it'll look like this. Remember, at the end was that ka, ma, you got the M-A, la is L-A, then you got the ka. Remember, the L, when it's at the end of a word, that A falls off. So now you got ma-lak, malak. Understand? Ma-lak. That would be your ma. That would be your la. Now it's going to be malak. So when you get it all together, malak. Understand? All right. Now these are the vowels that we're going over. This is what I call the vowels. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so it's just a little brief overview of how you can remember. If you see those particular letters at the end of a word, you may have to leave off the A. All right? I'm going to give those to you again, so you can actually see. Za. It's the pa. The ka. It's the ma. It's the ka. I'm sorry, this is the na. I'm sorry, this is the na. There we go. So we got the ka, the ma, na, pa, the za. All right? These are what I call the vowels. They go at the end of the word, you may have to leave the A off. All right, we're going to go into some other words of it that may look like that. All right. You might know how to say earth. Does anybody know how to say earth? In the Hebrew, the earth. Mm-hmm. Is it Harataza? Mm. Is it H-A, Harataza? Mm. Okay, Harataza. Here we go.
Yes.
Yes.
H. Harataza.
A-H.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, slow. Ra. Taza. So now you got to find Ra, Taza. And we got to spell that in there. So we'll have it as the Sometimes I got to do that little thing, but it's the right, little. Ra. Now the Tazah will be over here. Aratazah. Now, Aratazah, you will keep an A because it's Aratazah. You will keep it. And most of the time, the Tazah, you'll keep the A because it's the whole, once you learn the language, you see that most of the Aratazah, you'll leave the A on those most of the time. But there are occasions I just can't think of one where you will drop the A off it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we look, Aratazah. All right? Which means earth. All right. We're going to move on. You got any questions thus far? Any questions thus far? All right. We're going to move on and build on what we can try to build on. All right. And there's going to be some words that I want to go to from the verb words. And these are just simple words that I would like to put together, and I'll write some down. Unless there's something that, on YouTube or Facebook, anybody have any questions, and maybe have a word that you want to see written up, just let me know. And we see if I have it and I understand what it is and I know what it is, then we'll go ahead and proceed with it. But we're going to go with, I'm going to put a couple words up here. And now, the most important thing that you must have with this whole learning Hebrew, you must have at least three things actually. The Blue Letter Bible, understand? The Strong's Concordance looks something like this, but it's the Strong's. Strong's Compact Concordance, and of course, the Bible. That's the sword. These are to understand the Hebrew in its correct form, you must have these three things. You understand? The Blue Letter Bible is an app that you can download. You can download the Blue Letter Bible, and whatever you're looking for, you can actually look it up in that Blue Letter Bible, go to the verse, and it'll give you the word, hit the interlinear. It'll take you to all the words and how it's actually pronounced. You have to be careful because you see all different words. That's where your strong concordance will come in at. You understand? It'll tell you if it's a plural, if it's a noun or verb. It'll also tell you if it's plural or singular. So you have to actually look at that. That's why the Strong's Concordance is very important, because especially if you're looking for a name, I'll just say you have a rib, you want to find her name, and you go in there, you may give her a male's name. You understand? Or a child that you didn't have. You say, well, I want to name my child, Tapar. He is a boy. And you come and you find the word Tapar, and all of a sudden, you gave your son a girl's name. So you got to be very careful and actually look at that Strong's Concordance to find out what that means paternity. What is it, masculine, masculine form, feminine form, and you also, it'll give you the actual number. It'll say, just say you're looking up, lovely or something like that, or love, and love is, say love. So you want to look at the word love, right? Love is spelled, of course, but now it's in the ancient. All right, might be a little funny, but hey. It says love is a ka. You don't have 157. So a ka is the ancient. A ka, a ha, a ka. Okay, that's how it's said. But it had 157. That's the Strong's number. So without that Strong's Concordance, you would know what that particular is. It'll tell you where you can go to find out what that word means. If it's masculine, if it's a noun, if it's plural, it'll tell you exactly what that word is. That way you won't get confused with what you're looking for. And that's very important because that's where people mess up at when you're reading the Hebrew. And a lot of Christians mess up reading Hebrew because they don't understand the word. You understand? Because virgin is not the same virgin as what is meant today. Virgin in the scriptures is just eligible woman, a young woman. You know what I'm saying? Who just came off a flower. But here in the Western world, their term of a virgin, a male can be a virgin and a woman can be a virgin. Well, in the scriptures, that doesn't happen that way. Only a woman can be a virgin in the scriptures, and it doesn't have to be a woman who's already been married. She's already been married, but she's still a young woman who still can have children. She's still considered a virgin. But you will never know that if you don't come into the Hebrew and learn and actually get the Strong's Concordance and find out what that virgin is. So now you'll start interpreting, and all the stuff in the Bible to where you actually be fighting a fight that you're going to lose, but yet that perception goes out. Now you're misunderstanding the Bible. And that's where a lot of pastors and Christians and people that we run across all day, they have no idea of the Bible. They kind of tell us certain words, and it's not even how it goes. And we just tell them, no, you're misunderstanding that word. And then they'll proceed to tell us, oh, you're just interpreting the Bible your own way. In actuality, no, you're interpreting the Bible your way. Right. Because we actually have the Strong's Concordance, we have the Blue Letter Bibles, we have all the stuff that we know to identify what that means. You understand? That's why it's so important to learn that give me 1 second here. That King James had authorized the Bible to be translated. And when he authorized the Bible to be translated, he got with a couple of scholars. I'm thinking like 21 scholars, whatever the case may be, who understood the Hebrew, who understood the Greek. Not just understand it by way of just looking at it and understanding it. It has to be a term to where the geographical location, what was going on at the time. And all those scholars had to agree that's what that word meant. So if they all agreed with that's what that word meant at that time, then it was printed. So that's why we in the King James 1611, this is the recommended Bible you go to. That King James 1611 has the Apocrypha in it. You understand? And it's been the most accurate translation out there. And that's why we're so keen on give me the King James. When we out there fighting and we're battling in the streets, and we're talking to Christians and those black people community, and we're trying to teach them this word, and we battle against it. We always ask them, go to this King James 1611. That's the only book that was authorized of the translation to be accurate. It's the most accurate book out there. Now, all the other books, anybody can write a Bible. Anyone can print a Bible out and write it out. I mean, you got, give me some. T.D. Jakes wrote a Bible. What's that lady name? That Caucasian lady, she teaches, big time preacher. I forgot her name, but she's like a dude to me. She's like a man. But anyway, she wrote a Bible. There's so many Bibles out there. And the thing about the Bible, when they print it off, and this is what I heard, and I read this. The Bibles that's being printed off, they're printed off in the same press that Playboy and those other nasty magazines are printed off as well. And it's not being reviewed. They write the Bible, print it off, and it's sitting along its way. Well, the 1611 King James has been authorized. And that's why we tell you, go to this King James 1611, because it's the most accurate Bible there is. And also it has inside it the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is the missing books that we have that's been taken out of your Bible today. If you get any other Bible, you're not going to have the Apocrypha in there. You understand? So it's very important that you get the right Bible, that we have the right translation, the most accurate translation, and you have the most accurate terminology. You understand? So, all right. So those are the three things that you must have in your arsenal. You understand? You got your sword, the King James 1611 Bible, your Strong's Compact Bible, and you're ready to go, and you're ready for war. You understand? You're ready for war. So I'm going to give you a couple of words right now that we're going to go over. And these words that we're going to go over, it's just main words. Like I said, I want to be able to make a sentence by the end of the day. You understand? And this is what we're going to do. All right? So here we go. You with me? Above. Here we go. It's lucky. Get it back to myself. Above is ma'al. Ma'al. You understand? You go that one? All right. I'm going to give you all. Ka'al. Word and. Wa. And I'm going to give you word as. Not the as you're talking about, but just as. And you're connecting sentences together. Okay? Next. Ka. Alright? But let me check to see if anybody online. So you have anyone online checking in? All right, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, above is ma'al, all, call, and is wa, and as is ka. Understand? These are the languages in the Assyrian. I'm sorry, the ancient. This is ancient writers right now. We're gonna go to ancient. We try to split block both the ancient and the Assyrian. Right now, these are the ancient right here, writers. This is how you say it: above, all, and as. So above, ma'al, all is called. Anybody give me a precept that may have above all in this?
Above all, okay. Like Deuteronomy 7:6.
Just go ahead and pull it up. Deuteronomy 7:6. You can pull up Deuteronomy 7 and 6. If you could, read into the blue letter Bible. If you could.
Oh.
Now, again, you have to be careful of the writings because they can mean different things. They can say it differently because that's how we speak. We have different words. Like I gave you an example before. Board could be spelt many different ways and mean different things. You got actual physical board, or you can just be bored. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of different ways we can use. Give me some other ones that may be the same, look the same, but yet are pronounced differently. I'll think of something right now. I'm talking about dome. I just can't think of one right now. But let's go. Go ahead. Read what you got.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. Go ahead.
Well, thou art a holy people.
Thou art holy people. Holy means what? We just learned today that holy, or maybe we didn't. I'm going to have to go back to that. Holy in the English is Lashawan, Qadash. It's the holy tongue, which means separate. Read it again for me.
For thou art a holy people.
Holy. What's the word for holy?
Yeah. Qadash meaning separate.
Separate. So, okay, go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord has chosen us, the Israelites, the 12 tribes, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to be the only special people. We're supposed to be holy and separate, which means we're not supposed to follow everybody's custom. We're supposed to live aside everyone. We're supposed to do things a little bit different than them. We're supposed to have our own language. We have our own custom, our own heritage, aside from them. Holy doesn't mean falling out all over the place and catching the Holy Ghost and whatever the case all the Christians do. It just means having a separate deal. Tomorrow, when we have our Sabbath service, that's going to be a holy convocation, a separate convocation. We don't celebrate it on Sunday. We come together as a gathering and we come and learn our language, our culture. That means holy. We're supposed to have a separate gathering. Keep reading.
Above all people.
A what?
Above all people.
A what?
Above all people.
So we got to say it in the Hebrew, it would be ma'al ka'al. You know what I'm saying? Above all. Ma'al ka'al. Man, give me a hand. Give me a hand for that. Yeah? Most High Christ. Go ahead and finish it out.
They are upon the face of the earth.
He created us to be above all people. So it's always great to mix in the scriptures with the actual Lashawan Qadash, because it's your holy language. Above all is very important. That scripture that you read is very important because the Lord loves us. He put us above all the people right now. Because we didn't follow his laws, statutes, commandments, here we are with lost languages, having classes, trying to get you to understand the Lashawan Qadash, how to learn the Hebrew, going through alphabets. This is what we must do because we are lost people. We've been spread out to all the four corners of the earth, and now we have to have these classes because we are lost souls, we're lost people. You understand? I'm sorry. All right, the water for that. All right. We're gonna keep that going. I'm gonna leave them some words up. I'm gonna see if you guys can make a sentence with some of the words that we're writing down. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna keep it here. Beautiful. The word beautiful. That's going to be a pot. Now, this word is heavily used, beautiful. You have a lot of sisters named Yapa. You understand? A lot of sisters want that name in it. And I understand why. It has beautiful. So yeah, we get it. All right, beautiful. You're going to have because. Come on, because. Ka. Kaya. We're going to have but. Still, ball. You got beautiful, pronounced ya-pa. You have because, ka-ya. And we have but, a-ball. A-ball. You understand? This is how it is. It's written. And so, we're going to keep giving some words. Maybe if you see some things that you kind of put together, you can put in a sentence, call up, say, hey, and read it out to me. And we'll start to put some things together slowly but surely, all right? We're going to keep going down, writing some words. Come on. Fa'a. Command. Toss a war. Toss a war. I think we have a captain Toss a war. That's about right, Toss a war? Almost. It might be different. Toss a war, right? Yeah, so this is Toss a war. Something similar, but close, but not connected. So now we got beautiful, yapa, because, kaya, but, abal, come, baha, command, tazawa. Tazawa. See that? All right. So if we go back to, we'll flip this back over, and you're going to see why it's very important to use the alphabet. We've done nothing more with those words that we had. We did nothing more than just repeat the words simple. The a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa. So if I was to ask you to spell akal, it means to eat. Akal. How would you spell it? Akal. A, ba, ga, da. So you already saw the a, call. Ka, and then the ka, and then L will be just the la. And like I said, sometimes you have to drop off the A. So you wouldn't say kala. You wouldn't say ka-la, because it's at the end of the word. So you're going to have to drop off the L. Call. It's just that word. And that's where the accents are coming into play. Okay, so we go back to the other side. Our call would look like this. So it would be the connect, call. These are what you call the connectors. I mean, these are what you put together. So it would be simple, you can read. It would say call, la, call. Call. Is that right? Call, la. Right. Okay, that's what it is. So if you didn't have that on it, you probably can say call. And you'll actually put the A on it. And you actually connect them together. Call. But that'd be a whole different word. Mm-hmm. So with that L being by itself, with the accent being this way, this connecting the ka, connecting the those will sound together. Together. Call. I call. You know what I'm saying? And that means, what's it called? I call means eat, I believe that means to eat. That's what that means. All right, understand? Good to go. So we're going to break some of these words down again. We're going to go into the Hebrew, we're going to go to the alphabet, look at it, and we go back. Let's look at above. Ma'al. Ma'al. M-A-I-L. We put here I-L. My owl. So we go back over here and look. We see where the ma is. The ma. So the ah is here. So combining these words together. So we have to put those words together. So this reconnector is ma. Owl. These words will be by themselves. And that's how you get my owl. It would be my owl la. If you didn't connect that here, it would be a la, be L-A, so it would be my la. I had to add A on that. But since it's by itself, it's my owl. And what's my owl mean again?
Sloppy. Eat.
Nope.
Oh, about sloppy. Above all.
Above. There you go.
Sloppy.
Above. Okay then. Those are incorrect. We should have two boards up here, man. Oh, we gonna keep it right. All right. All right. Let's keep moving. Break down the word call, which is all. Call. Call. How would you break this down? The word call.
Call. Could be ha. Call and law.
Be ka.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the ka. So how would you put the connectors on? Remember, the standby connectors are when you join them together, it's under, and when it's standalone, it's upside down. It's fine. Off. You connect these two. Ka, off. Now we'll go by itself. Ka, off. Ka, off. Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, was I incorrect? Now, you got the word wa. Wa is and. This is very important to hit this and because you hear that a lot. We hear the gentleman say it all the time. Rakata Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah. Right? Wa. Rakata Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah. Wa is and. You know what I'm saying? So what are we saying? Rakata Yahweh, wa and Yahweh Shah. So it's okay. So it'll be blessed the Most High God and wa Yahweh Shah. That's what that means. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah. Okay, you hear them say it a lot. You might see some of the priests say it a lot. You know, and it doesn't hurt. You can say it a lot. When you want to give praise to the Most High God, Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah. Just that wa is and. A-N-D. That's just a simple wa, which you will join both those together. Just wa together. Because if you put it separately, you'd be a wa, ah. If you didn't have these connectors, this is what you would have. So it's very important that we have the connectors. Let me write it down a little bit better for you. This is the wa, this is what we're saying, wa, and. But if we didn't join these letters, and it was single, it would have to be, it'll look, you have to read it something like wa, ah. That's how it would go. But since these connectors have it together, you're connecting these two words, but the only thing you're doing is dropping off the last letter, which gives you with the W and the A, which equals wa. Understand? All right. Sounds good. You got any questions on mine at all? All right, I'm sorry, correct? All right, we're going to keep on moving right along. Okay, as. A-S. As. Same thing. As. Those two connectors will go together, and it's just ka. So you got my owl, call, wa, and ka. Understand? Next word is yapa. Yapa is beautiful. Same thing with the yapa. We usually spell the yapa. Ya. Pa. Those connectors we go here. Yapa. You connect both of those words together to put them together to sound. Because if you have them separately, what would it look like if you had it separately? The ya. Well, you go back here. The ya. the Yah, then the Pa. Yah, Pa. Understand? So that's where we have Yah, Pa together. I'm breaking Hadar will be upset with me, so I better take it easy, you understand? And y'all make sure y'all tune in on Fridays. Hadar, shouts out, we're gonna big up the shouts out to Hadar, Amath, and Yahweh Yadai. Them brothers come in, they do an excellent job in the Hebrew, you understand? Of course they couldn't be here, so I'm stepping in for them. And as a good priest, you all should learn the Hebrew. You should be able to come and teach the class, you understand? So this is what we're doing. We're stepping in from the brothers, because that's what brotherhood is all about. You step in, you pick up where you left off, and classes keep continuing. Classes keep continuing. This language has to go out. The kingdom of heaven is within us. We have to bring this to full tuition. We got to usher in the Lord. Christ will come. A lot of Christians say, well, I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord. Nah, the Lord's waiting on us. He's waiting on us to get this stuff right. He waiting on us to come to the Sabbath service. He waiting on us to learn the Lashawan Qadash. He's waiting on us to make sure the brotherhood is tight. He's waiting for us. We can, like I said, we can usher in the Lord, the Most High God, by just us doing the simple things and ushering in the Lord. He's waiting for us. We can make him come next week, or we can wait for a couple of thousand more years for him to come. So it just all depends on us. Me, myself, I want the Lord to come tomorrow, because Lord knows I'm tired of being in this dang captivity. You understand? So we're going to keep on going. Because Kaya, same thing. Kaya together. It's already set. But Abal. Now this is the different one, because you can use the two connectors here with the A and the Ba, and the all will be by itself. We'll see what looks something similar to this. A, Ba, L, La. Abal. It's very important that you understand these connectors. If you don't understand these connectors, you will get the translation incorrect. You'll be saying another type of word. Because there might be a abala somewhere. You just never know in our language. We add the A, we drop the A, we add the ending, drop the ending. It could be in a whole different word. Alright? Just like the word two. T-O, T-O-O. 1, 2 is 2, 1, 2 is also, and another 2 is something different. So you got to be real careful. Just like any other language, you have to be real careful of how you're writing it, where you're writing it from, and where you're getting the information from, and where these connectors go at. It will throw you off, or it will give you another word. Either way, it's going to throw you off. All right? All right. Pastor, what we got? What else we learn? What else we want to learn the people teach? Want to read some scriptures for me? You're in the Hebrew? All right, no sweat. Give me Leviticus. We're going to go to Leviticus since we're here at the closing of the feast that's going to be coming tomorrow. So if you're in the Atlanta area and you want to attend the feast, we have the Sabbath service tomorrow that's going from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. After that, we come back for the sunset. We have the ending of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and we're going to have the opening of the first fruits. So come, we have drinks, food, and unleavened bread should be there at the time. So sisters, make sure you bring some unleavened bread in, because we have to end it with some unleavened bread as well. All right? And with that being said, in the spirit of that, we're going to go ahead and go into Leviticus. Where we at? Leviticus 23? Let me see here. Let me see. I believe it's Leviticus 25, right?
23 and 1.
23 and 1? Go ahead and start Leviticus 23 and 1. We're going to read this in the Lashawan. We're going to read this in the Hebrew. All right? Once you become fluent in the Hebrew and you're starting to put the words together by listening to the alphabet, this is what you will hear. Go ahead and read, brother.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1 in Hebrew.
Uh-huh.
Well, Yahweh, Yahweh al Mashal Yashal. Verse 2. The bar al Yah Yashal. Wa al Roth. Wa al Hum. By Y. I Yah. Yahweh. Ashar. Ra Kwa Ara Adam Makwa Ra Ice Qadash Alon Alon Allah Hum Why I verse 3 Shas Why Bayum the Ice Mala'aka Waba Yawam Hasha by Ira okay Shah Shabbath Shabbath 1 Ma Kwa Ra Qadash Kal Vala Aka La'a.
Last verse.
Qadash.
Read to me in English.
Okay. Last verse English, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The I Shawa Shabbat Ha Wa'a Lo Yahau Bakal my washa okay wa my washabath yakam okay glad for verse 4 in English. These are the feast days of the Lord, even holy convocations which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Verse 5 in the 14th day of the first month.
The 14th day of the first month, go ahead.
At even is the Lord's Passover.
Right, that was the Passover. We done the Passover last week. You understand? So this is what the scripture is telling us about. So all the Easters and the stuff that you were seeing, we don't celebrate those types of holidays. Easter's not even in the Bible. So to celebrate Easter was a how can I say it was a treacherous, dangerous, evil thing you could have possibly done. You should have been the Lord's Passover. This is what's in the book of Leviticus. It's in the Old Testament and it's also in the New Testament. Explaining the Lord's Passover. So if you did not make the Passover for whatever reason, if you didn't make it because of an illness or whatever case, we understand that. Okay, got you. Well, you're about to die, whatever case may be. But if you missed it because you didn't have the money or the time, you couldn't get off, rather than your brotherhood is showing, your brotherhood is lacking, your sisterhood is lacking.
Right. Because
you have months and months to prepare. The general gives out the time way before the time is to come. So if you didn't go because of whatever reason that you thought was valid for you, it was invalid. We should all make the Passover. You understand? Now, I didn't say that, but the scriptures say we got to make this Passover. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
The what?
Is the feast of unleavened bread.
This is what we're into right now. We're actually into the feast of unleavened bread. It's a high holiday that we need to keep. This feast of unleavened bread got all the leaven out of your houses for 7 days. Anything that make anything rise, you're supposed to get it out of your house. You understand? And you're supposed to eat some type of unleavened bread every day until the closing, which is tomorrow at sunset. And that would be the feast of unleavened bread. You understand? This is what we're supposed to. This is the culture that's been lost from us. This, what that brother was reading, that was the Hebrew that was been lost, that we're trying to get back to our people. And once you actually understand this class, and there's many different other classes that you can join. Atlanta, we do a class every Friday, but all throughout Israel, every Friday is a Lashawan Qadash class. And it's given through all the classes from Florida to New York City, from Virginia to the Southern California, up and down, even over to Trinidad, Puerto Rico. This class is given because we have to give our language back to the people. You understand? So this is a very important language that you must know. And the Lord told us we need to practice the righteous acts. And we need to understand this language that's been here since the beginning of the time. And you know what the funny part is? Because no matter where you at in the world, if you're speaking Spanish, and you're speaking, just say Portuguese, speaking English, whatever language it is, that brother Magunbaf over in Puerto Rico, he speaks English. I speak a little Spanish. But you know, we both speak together. I come to that brother and say, he said the same thing back to me. We understand the language in Hebrew. So once all the 12 tribes learn the Hebrew, it doesn't matter where you at across the land. You can go from here to China, if your brother's over there. You can go to Australia, whatever you want to go at. And if you don't understand that native language over there, you can speak to that brother or sister in the Hebrew and they will understand you. That's the importance of this language. Because our language has been lost. If you ask a Spanish person, what is this language beyond what he knows right now? To his island that he was on, he does not know what he spoke. You ask many brothers, so-called blacks, what language you spoke before you came over here. You have no idea what you spoke. But the scripture will tell you all the language we speak in Hebrew. So just imagine all the 12 tribes speaking this heavenly language, this holy language that brother was just reading. If you start to understand that and speak that language, there's no matter where you at in the country, you're going to understand that brother and you're going to speak to him. You understand? Because our language brings us together. Right now, our language is bringing us apart. You go to a sister or brother, they speak Spanish, you can't speak Spanish. You know what I mean? Because you grew up over here, they grew up over there. You have to learn the Spanish language to communicate with them, or they have to learn the English language to communicate with you. But if we all spoke the holy tongue, Lashawan, Qadash, we all speak the same language, and we'd be able to answer and to understand every one of our brothers and sisters. Just imagine, we're at the Passover, we all speaking the holy tongue, the language. Right. That's what it's going to equate to. It's going to be when you're at the Passover, everybody speaking the Hebrew language, and everybody understand. That way your heathens have no idea what we're talking about. You understand? So that's where we're going to go at. All right? I'll keep reading, brother. I'm sorry. It's like
7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation.
All right.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. I just wanted to hear you, and we might go back to that brother read some more Hebrew as we go along. I just want to show you how it is written, how it's been spoken, once you understand the language. Just clap it up for that brother, man. Hey, let me read it. All right, we're going to go some other words, all right? So we're going to go into the word do, D-O. That's spelled die. You know? Don't, ayan. Ayan. If, am. This is what it is. This is what it is. Ama. This is what it is. Ama. All right? So we're going to break these letters down. So if you had to write this in the Syrian language, in the ancient language, and you had to put the connectors on it, you just write it as it. Just as it is. Da. Here is done. Ayan. Also, ayan. Like a W. Ayan. Connectors are very important. Because here we go again. Connect the A, the Ya, and the singular with the Na, with the N. Alright? Anya. Anya. Same deal. Connect them both. Ama. Same deal. You connect them. You understand? Connectors are very important. Good to go? Alright. We're gonna move right along. Alright, let's I'm gonna bring you up here. I know you've been studying the Hebrew. I'm gonna put you through a little test. Not even a little test. Give me one of the 12 tribes. And break it down to 12 tribes. Right in the ancient. We're gonna give you, let's see, what, one of the 12 tribes? Yashal. Give me Yashal. You understand that one? Or just, matter of fact, just give me one you know. Whatever one you know. 12 tribes. You got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad.
Yeah, Yashkar. Yeah, Isupk.
Well, give me right one on the line, right one on the board for me. Watch this out.
Pardon my handwriting.
It's all good.
My watch, but let's see though. Yashkar.
Isupk.
Oh, right here. Yeah, Yashikar. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Yashikar right there.
So you wrote it in the ancient Hebrew.
The ancient.
And again, like he was taught, ancient Hebrew, you write it from right to left. This is when you're actually writing in it. So it's like Yah, Sha, so it's Yash. That's connected. Yash, Sha, Kar. Now this Ka, is that the Syrian or is that the?
No.
Oh, you can't get out. There we go. That's what the Ka is. So as the brother did, he did it perfectly. Yashikar is the so-called Mexican tribe. And Yashikar, like you say, he connected them. The Yah, Yash, Sha, Kar. He's dropped off the A, so that'll be a Ra. It would be a R-A. But he dropped off that A, now it's Yashikar. All right, outstanding, give me a hand. Perfect. All right, what else you got for me? What else you got for me?
Oh, something else.
Uh-oh. We got it.
For Yum.
For Yum. All right. So break it down.
It's supposed to be okay, it spells on the board. It's supposed to spell like ba, na, ma, ya, and na. But the thing is, see, I got the connectors right here. The bridges. So instead of saying ba and na, it's gonna be when the A drop off, gonna be bun. Here on the board.
So if I was to say bun, what would that just be what would that be, just bun? What does bun mean in Hebrew?
Bun mean son.
Son of, that's right, exactly.
Okay.
Son of,
Okay. Now right here, if I would have said na and ma, I would have said no ma. But it's yum. So you had to drop off the A. It'll be yum. Just like the yum. If I would have spoke you like this, without the connector, it'd be Yahanna. But if I drop out the A, it's gonna be yum. But yum, yum. Now some of my brothers automatically should know what yum means automatically. That means right. Or yum shar, right turn. But this word right here, but yum, that means son of right.
Son of right. That's right, clap it up. And yum. So bun, yum. And the brother did it right. He went from left to right. Put his connectors on. Bun, yum. Connector was right. Everything's good to go. So clap it up for him. All right. Give me one more. You on the road. So this brother's been studying. Simple one right there. This brother wrote Ashar. A-Sha-R. Go ahead and break it down for him.
like, you know, the R, that means smile, the frown face, that means by itself. So you can say it as it is, as it on the board. It'll be R. It says, instead of saying Shara.
Because that would be a Shah right here, S-H-A, right?
The Shah can be Ra.
So what do we have to do to make this as Shar? What do we have to do to make that the way it looks? Shar, connected.
On this Ra, you gotta drop out the A, so
drop
to make it pronounced Shar, S-H-A-R. Well, okay, so another time you can, there's another way you can use Shar, right here, like example. Let me see.
It's I.
Okay.
That's it. It's I.
Okay. I don't know anybody on the phone should know what this means, because we were saying this 2 weeks ago in class. Because I was reading this in a Syrian Hebrew. It's a number. It's a number. It's somebody saying security announcements. Every time there's security announcements. Can I give you a hint?
I.S.U.P.K.
Yep. That means chanting in Hebrew. I.S.U.P.K.
But it's supposed to be the I.S.U.P.K.
No, I.S.U.P.K.
Well, I.S.U.P.K.
Yeah, that's what it means. I.S.U.P.K.
All right.
Chanting in Hebrew. And Ashar, that means happy.
Happy. And who are these people? Ashar.
Ashar is like the Colombians throughout Brazil and in Cuba.
Not Cuba.
Yeah, no, sloppy. No. Guatemalans and Colombians. That means about central, it's central Brazil. Central and South Brazil.
And right, anything on that. What's I Christ, brother? What you talking about? No, you've been studying.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll go for this week. That's compared. Lord
willing. Ashar. It's Ashar. So brother did it right, man. So we gonna keep on moving right along. Any questions? Any questions? All right. Now, there's also been some misconceptions of the shield of David that we wear. Shield of David is one of our insignias that we wear. It's what we always have on our sleeves here. Necklace that we have. We have the shield of David. A lot of people call it a star, and that's the incorrect term for it. Now, a lot of people take the shield that we have, and they use it for all different types of things. Devil worshiping. They can take it and use it for games, the GDs. We get that a lot. You out in the corner, we speaking, and they come up to, hey, are you a GD? Like, man, yeah, GD. Goddamn it, no, no, we're not GDs, man. We're Israelites. We speak God's word. So it's a lot of misconceptions on what that is. And what this simply is, for those out there who have never seen it before, and always question, is it the devil worshiping? No, it's not. Like I said, people take it and they can use it for whatever they want to use it for. But that's not the significance of this shield. So we're going to correct the language of it right now. It's not a star, it's the shield of David. And what that actually was that was insignia, such as this ring that I have in my hand right now. The king would wear this the shield. And just like today, if there's some type of, like we have a seal of Florida, you got a seal of the United States. And when there's an official letter coming out from a government or from the state that you're in, it's always sealed with that insignia of that state or that country. All right. So if you get a letter from a letter from Florida, from the state of Florida, you're gonna see that Florida seal. You get a state letter from Georgia, you're gonna see that state seal. That's an official letter from that particular state or that particular country. And what it was, King David, his name was Dawadah. We can go back here. Make sure I don't break it. We can go back here. And we can see it's a Da. So King David's name was Dawadah. That's just two Da's put together. Da. And Dawadah was D-A-W-A-D-A. Dawadah. You understand? So that was his initial, the king's initial. No more than we would have an initial, say with one of your name that you had, your first name, middle name, and last name. Whatever that was in the world, or whatever the case may be, you would put that initial on you. TLP, or whatever the case it is. You put that, that's just your initials, like especially a lot of documents in America, they want you to initial your name. Your initial, you put your signature or your initial. You initial your first, middle name, last name, the first letters of them. Well, that's what our King David did. He had a insignia, and he had to write. His name was Dawadah. So if he had to write his name, right or wrong, bro. He had to write his name in the Hebrew. Da. Wa. Da. Correct? So that's how it would be. So da wa da. So what he would do is that D would be here. That's the first letter. And then it'd just be upside down because you couldn't put it right side up because it would look like this. This is crazy. So simply he had to just make that D for the da. And sometimes you see, in some of them, you'll see the initial inside of it have the W, I believe. Am I right? It has a W inside it. But the main thing, you'll see the shield. And that was just his insignia, that shield right there. And that's just the ring around it for the shield. And that's all for the ring. And that's all it is. So don't get misconstrued when you see a lot of brothers wearing this. We're not bound down to it. We're not, saying that this is a idol that we live with, we pray to. It's not like the cobblestone, the rock that the Muslims, they walk around this cobblestone they have, and they walk around it 7 times, and then they go and kiss the Kaaba. It's not what we do at all. It's just another part of our history that's been lost, and we're trying to bring it back out. Because these are one of the insignias that tells us who we are. It tells us our King David, you understand, who's our king. It's like Yahanna is our king. But he's one of our kings, and this is what we had. And we're trying to find all the things that has been lost to us. We try to get all our cultures back. So just a misconception. I just wanted to clear that up since I saw this. The dude was a Da. So I just wanted to bring that back out. That Da, King David, that was his initials, right? So he had to write the D for it, the Da, or Da, and then he just had the circle of a ring, such as I have on my hand. That's all it is. So never refer to this as a star, ever again. Once you understand the language of the Hebrew language, you would know that the importance of the symbol, which is the shield of David, which is your king. And you can rock it how you want to rock it. You understand? You can rock it on your shirt, you can rock it around your neck, you can rock it on your finger. You just rocking your shields, you rocking your culture around your neck. No, nothing more than you see other people rocking. They was in the the rock symbol or whatever the hell they be doing with Jay-Z. They rock their little symbols. You know what I'm saying? People rock their symbols when they're in the Masons. They rock their symbol, even though it's all BS. But they want to rock it, and they do that. So we rocking ours. You understand? We rocking our culture. We bringing our culture back to our people, man. The 12 lost tribes. You black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you can wear this. You understand? You can wear it and know exactly what it means. And when you see somebody else wearing it, just ask them what it means and see if they even know what it means. Let them tell you what it is. You understand? But you know the truth of this thing. That's our King David, Dawadah. That's his initials. And that's our shield. That's our stamp of our nation of Israel. You understand? So there's nothing wrong with rocking that. So I just wanted to clear that up for those who may not know what it is. All right. All right, we're going to move right along. We're going to get up some more words that I have here. And I want to go over our greeting. All right. Do I want to go about greeting, or do I want to go over one of the prayers? Which way you want to go, brother? Which way you want to go? How about I write it and you come up and write it in the ancient? Sound like we do that? I got it right here. I write it here. You can go ahead and write it in the ancient. Good. All right. We're gonna start with our Hebrew prayer. We give a few words in it because we got a few more minutes. I'm gonna write a couple of words in it, and then this brother come up and write the sermon behind it. Here we go. But now, you hear this tons of time. If you watch the Sabbath service, you watch class, you're gonna hear Abanawa. Abanawa means our Father, and you're gonna put it here. All right, Abanawa. See you rock with it.
Okay, I'm just gonna write it for the educated states from
Right to left.
Right to left.
Mm-hmm.
So what word we use is gonna be in reverse.
Leave that right there.
Everything's all separate, so I can see here. Yep, everything's separate. As you see here, boom, 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 boom.
Outstanding. That's what it is. You keep down the way. I get it read. Like a school teacher. If you're wrong, we'll mark you wrong. No, it's like the brother stated, he wrote from right to left. He's writing in ancient Hebrew. So from right to left in the ancient, he has the ba, na, wa, abanawa. That means what? Our Father. All right? Shabbat Shemayim. Sha. Ba. Sha. Ma. Yum. Alright. Shabbat Shemayim, which art in heaven. Okay. Sha. It's a sha. It's the ba. Sha. It's a sha. You understand? Got the sha here and the sha here. Sha there, sha there. Okay, so Shabbat, Sha, Ma. Sama, they're all separate. Yum. You got it here. Shemayim. Shabbat Shemayim. Yum. So I would say that is correct. Alright. Alright. Qadash. Qadash. So now we said this is our Father who art in heaven. Alright? It's going to be the word Qadash. Might be a little tough. How? That's a quad? I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I just okay. And you might be switching up to the might be going to the other one. You might be going to the that might be the Syrian. You go like the Syrian, or you gonna mix them up?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm used to reading it.
Yeah.
It's Syrian. So
here we go. Here we go, boy. So simple. The Qadash. Single, the Qadash. That means hollow. You know what I'm saying? Hollow. Alright, Qadash. A few more. Give me Hayah. 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 A-Y-A-H. Haya.
Oh, yeah.
Ha.
Yeah.
Okay, Qadash, Haya. So we got Abaniah, Shabbat Shemaiah, Qadash, Haya. Our Father, thou in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Alright? Alright. Shamka. 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 Alright. Yahweh. Break that one down. Let's be the last one.
Wow.
Okay. Yahweh. There you go. That's not Christ. So you probably got 100%. We got 100%. This is the Lord's name, Yahweh in the Hebrew. And go ahead and break that name down for me.
This is gonna be the heart right here by itself. If I would have said like one of the fake Israelite groups or something, they might have said like, let me see, Yaha, Waha, or something like that, you know. Just some word like Yahui. You might have said Yahui, it sounds the same if you spell it that way. Well, you gotta break down, is there anything with an A at the end? Instead of being Waha, it's gonna be Wa, cause the A will be taken off.
Yeah, right.
So to be like this in English, the way it's written, okay. Waha, if I took this off, it's like two little separates in here. It will be, this will be spelled like that.
Right. So if you pronounce it like that, how would it be?
Waha.
Yahweh, Waha, Waha.
Mm-hmm. But if I get the connectors together, get the bridge together,
You drop it
now
off.
you drop the A off,
Mm-hmm.
now you spell it just like that.
There you go. So again, the bridges, those connectors, the happy face, the smiley face, the set upside down, those again are very important that you get these connectors right. Because like I said, if you didn't, you would have said Yahweh, Hawa, Yahweh, Yahweh, or something like that.
Mm.
And that's not the correct word that we're saying. We're saying Yahweh, not Hawa, Yahweh. So it's very important that you get that. All right? All right, then we're going to move right along. Let me get some of the 12 tribes. We want the tribes. Did tribes already?
Mm.
We do some tribes? We did tribes already. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, get some heathens.
Okay.
Give me some heathens. Now I'm going to give you some heathens that's in the Bible. All right?
Okay, I'm already English word. No, right Hebrew. You understand?
Yeah, right in the English and the Hebrew.
Okay, English.
So wait, so tell me who it is. Anawa. Okay. Who's that?
Edom, so-called Edomites.
So-called Caucasians.
Mm-hmm.
Anawan.
Okay, Well, got the Wam gonna be, instead of being Edom, well, it's called Edomites, because you got the Wam at the end.
So Wam is telling us plural, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Wam, without the Wam, it would be singular.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put the Wam at the end, that makes it plural.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We going to another class.
Yeah. So Edomites, out of Wam, you said in the prayers. Yeah, we said in the prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Wam on Psalms, my favorite one was Psalms 81. Your Psalms 80, no, Psalms 83. Oh, my favorite one.
Let's go ahead and write that in the ancient.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you correct yourself. It's good to go. There it is. Da, Wam. There you go. Okay. Give me one more.
Okay.
Who?
Who
are they?
people across the street. No, there's some East Indians.
East Indians, the red dot Indians. They had the red thing on their head. Alayam.
I-D-A-I-N. Correct my writing, whatever.
I'm just gonna put the little red dot right here so you know
Yeah,
exactly
so
what it
you know,
is.
mm-hmm.
This is what they put on their forehead, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that right there. It's the East Indians. Yum. Sign Christ. Let's clap it up for him. Outstanding job. Outstanding job. Again, if you put the yum, the at the end, that means it's plural. The wam, they're plural. All right? All right then. All right. Anything else you want to go over? So I can run to the end. That might be all we got. That's all I had to get over today. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to go over on today. Again, this is the Lashawan Qadash class. Learn the Hebrew language. We're gonna go over and say the alphabet one more time before we get out of here, so that way you'll be familiarized with it. And I broke these boards for the dark Hildy. All right, we're gonna go in the alphabet again. This is the ancient. Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. All right. The way that you're gonna remember this is ancient. Ancient is kind of like the pictures. You know, it's kind of like a different type of picture type deal. Okay. Once you start getting to the Syrian, it goes into another dimension. It starts looking completely different. That's the Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. Of course, you got your what we so-called the vowels, which is the Ka, Ma, Na, Pa, Taza. Those are the 5 characters at the end of each sentence. When you see them, you have to pronounce them and possibly drop off the A on the end of it, and it'll make the word sound in the correct way. All right. Do you have any questions online at all?
Now, one sister said online, that great job, sir.
Oh, the water sis, appreciate that.
Yeah, sis from Arizona. I got to see your name real quick.
All right.
No, not one. Oh, Yvette Wakam.
Wakam?
Yeah, Khan, Yvette.
Yvette, you come. Hey, it's like your sister. The water for tuning in. The water for everybody for tuning in. Again, this is given every Friday from 7 to 9. out throughout the whole Israel. Again, get back to culture, take back to history, learn your languages, other than, you know, the language that you're from on this earth. Learn your holy tongue, the Lashawan Qadash class. If there's not any more questions online, we can go ahead and close the class up. I'm going to bring up Police Officer 50, the Pashkaya, close it up. So what? Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K Start Out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, there are limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves over the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from here to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from here to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. My I.S.U.P.K means 10 in Hebrew. Every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of teacher. Priest farm, free will offer for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount like to give. The next holy convocation, this is going to be the last day of the Feast on Unleavened Bread, right here tonight. And we're going to close it out Saturday, tomorrow sundown, with the opening of Feast of First Fruits. So you're all welcome, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You're all invited. You come to 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. And again, it's 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. Only for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Remind Akim or Wakim to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and a scarf. And make sure you Google this address every time you head to the school on your GPS. You can type in Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and the address will be 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. Again, it will be 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. If you type in the word Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, it takes you directly to the school.
Right.
With that, men Israel, give one curse salute to the teacher, men Israel. I.S.U.P.K, Michael, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua
Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Why I say to you, Lashawan Qadash, may the Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. Yah, the top, me hands down. Give one curse salute to the sister who online on YouTube in the Atlanta class. Men Israel, I.S.U.P.K, Michael, Barak, Yahweh Shema Al-Thar Ba'Shem Yahshua. Why I just said to you, sister, in the Lashawan Qadash, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yah, the top, me hands down. Class dismissed.